Like hopefully we get a good pace, because you don't want a messy race. But over 2.5, it should be a decent pace over 2.5.
Yeah, not too much longer now before we get the answers in the first Grade 1 of 2019. The runners making their way to post. And the market is interesting here because the top two have both been relatively easy to back so far here, Battleoverdoyen and Tornado Flyer. And come to me, Don, there seems to be a fair bit of support materialising for this horse now. He won well at Cork. I was actually there that day. It was Hillyway Chase Day. Won by 17 lengths on that occasion, but into 9-2 here on track. Is that a surprise that he's contracted quite so much?
He's short enough, yeah. I suppose he was strong this morning, and that strength has continued. That was soft ground at Cork the last day. How do you think he's going to be on the ground? Because he was beaten at Punchestown in May on better ground.
That would be, yeah, a slight concern, all right. He's not been the easiest of horses to train either. That's the other thing. This fella had a long time on the sidelines after he won his bumper at Punchestown. Actually, a good bumper as well. He beat the sadly ill-fated Burren Life that day, but I presume the fact that it's a Grade 1 and he's rolling now, connections are happy enough to let him take his chance today. Lone Wolf, Sam's profile again, promising types as well, Don, aren't they?
Yeah, Lone Wolf, very good the last day. Battled on well to beat Defé de May, who was probably really disappointing next time at Leopardstown behind City Island. Colin McFarr was third that day, so that's good. It's a good race. That was over 2.25. He shaped that day as if he'd improved for stepping up and tripping. He's up to 2.5 today, so that's a positive.
So runners just assembling down at the start then, with Tornado Flyer clear favourite again now at 2-1. Magnum's another one who's come in for a bit of market support here. I thought he was, to be honest, a crazy price initially at 50 or 66, because you can almost put a line through his last run, Don. He got involved in a fair bit of scrimmaging there in that messy race won by Easy Game. In actual fact, it was Easy Game that he had the coming together with that day, and Robbie Power more or less just eased him off after that. But on his previous run, he's now 50-1 shot.
No, absolutely. He got to within a neck of Easy Game the last day, and he looked a winner that day when he went in front up the run in. As you say, you put a line through his last run, and he was a 40-1 shot this morning. He's a lot. I think he was 16-1 now. Yeah, I think he was 40. He was definitely big this morning, a lot bigger than that. So he's probably getting into his correct price now.
He's got plenty of experience as well, Magnum. That will stand to him against some of the rivals here today who are having just their second run over hurdles after winning their maidens, the likes of Battleoverdoyen and Tornado Flyer. More money now for Come to Me, who's into 4-1. Speaking of experience, Don, none more experience here really than Get a Reason. Noel Feely's across to ride him as well. He was second in that race where Magnum lost all chance with the interference. And on that form, you give him a chance. Question is he flattered by that? Because he'd been a bit disappointing on his two previous runs, I thought.
Yeah, it was a messy enough race in the end, wasn't it? That Navan grade 2 race. Easy Game did very well to win it up the far side. But yeah, look, I suppose on the positive side, he's got the experience, and that's going to stand to him. On the negative side, he's kind of getting to his level now. We're kind of learning maybe how good he is. He's at 6 runs over hurdles, which is more than most. But he is experienced, and the fact that Noel Feely's coming over to ride him is a positive as well.
Yeah, that is certainly noteworthy. I'd imagine Noel could have been busy or had a few rides at the very least at Plunton today had he so wished. So shouldn't be too much longer here. Joint favourites again. Battleoverdoyen's back into 2-1 at the top of the market with Tornado Flyer, with the real big springer here Come to Me at 4s. And late money now as well for Lone Wolf, Don. It's that type of race, isn't it? You couldn't put anybody off having a few quid on one of these horses, because essentially we've only really scratched the surface with pretty much all of them.
You see, that's it. Like the two at the top of the market, they're the form horses and the high profile horses. Tornado Flyer has got Grade 1 winning form and bumpers as well. He's a Punchestown champion bumper winner. He finished third in the Cheltenham bumper, so that's rock solid. Battleoverdoyen has always been high profile and he's been impressive in what he's done, but there's still lightly raced and there's still potential for anything like Lone Wolf or Come to Me to progress and at least get up to their level.
Okay, they're coming out behind the tape then for the first Grade 1 of 2019. Here at Naas, it's the Lawlors of Naas Novice Hurdle. Jerry Hannon to describe the action.
White flag raised, and they're off. A short approach to the first flight. and it's Magnum on the inside of Get a Reason, and Sam's Profile as they race to the opening flight, and it's Magnum going to rise in the lead from Get a Reason, Sam's Profile. They're all safely over as they race on to the second flight, the second of 11. Magnum is the leader from Get a Reason, and then Sam's Profile just third on the inside of Battleoverdoyen. Come to Me next with Lone Wolf, and on the outside is First Approach, and held up in these very early stages, Tornado Flower. As the 8 runners make their way to flight number 3 before the straight in this Grade 1 Lawlors of Naas Novice Hurdle. 2.5 miles to cover. Sam's Profile slight mistake as they come across to their final 2 miles and turning into the straight to flights 4 and 5. And it's Magnum and Robbie Parr going along a length in front of Get a Reason and Noel Feely. Not much to choose then between Battleoverdoyen, Jack Kennedy on the outside of Sam's Profile and Brian Cooper. Behind these, straightening up, is Lone Wolf and Mark Walsh in First Approach. Sean Flanagan on the outside of Come to Me, Paul Townend, and last of a tightly boxed up field, Tornado Flower and Ruby Walsh. As they jump the first of the 2 flights in the straight, and it's Magnum the leader from Get a Reason. The unbeaten Battleoverdoyen next on the outside of Sam's Profile, then Come to Me, First Approach, Lone Wolf and Tornado Flower. There's been very little changes in the order of running. At flight number 5, it'll be the last one next time. And it's Magnum by a length and a half to Get a Reason, tracked by Battleoverdoyen in a disputing 3rd place with Sam's Profile the rail. Come to Me next, then First Approach, being followed by Lone Wolf, and 2.5 lengths to the back marker who remains Tornado Flower. They have a circuit in front of them and another 6 flights left to jump as they reach their final 1.5 miles. And it's Magnum the leader from Get a Reason, and then Battleoverdoyen on the outside of Sam's Profile. With the second half of the field Come to Me, Lone Wolf, First Approach and Tornado Flower. Onto the flight past the stands, 6 from the finish, and it will take them to the halfway stage. Magnum being followed by Get a Reason, then Battleoverdoyen on the outside of Sam's Profile. Come to Me next with Lone Wolf on the inside of First Approach, and then Tornado Flower. Making the bend towards the next flight, which is 1 mile from the finish, and Magnum is followed by Get a Reason, then Sam's Profile. And alongside Sam's Profile is Battleoverdoyen, and then Come to Me, Lone Wolf, First Approach and Tornado Flower. They're still in the same order, jumping the flight 1 mile from the finish. Magnum followed by Get a Reason, and Tornado Flower doesn't appear to be travelling all that well and has been eased out of contention by Ruby Walsh and is being pulled up. Tornado Flower has been pulled up as they pass the 7 furlong point. They've 4 flights left to jump. Magnum with Sam's Profile moving second. Get a Reason relegated a spot to 3rd. Then Battleoverdoyen. Lone Wolf raced in company with Come to Me and First Approach, last of 7 that continue. 4 to jump. Magnum with Get a Reason just winning back the second from Sam's Profile, who had an awkward landing. Then Battleoverdoyen, Come to Me and Lone Wolf. And these 6 have left First Approach, who's been ridden along. 3 flights to jump. They've 1/2 mile to go. Magnum and Get a Reason still the first 2. Sam's Profile. Round the outside is Battleoverdoyen, and then Lone Wolf, Come to Me and First Approach as they're homeward bound. They've 2 to jump, and the Lawlors of Naas Grade 1 Novice Hurdle. Magnum almost joined off the last bend by Get a Reason. Battleoverdoyen now been shaken up on the outside to try and close. Then Sam's Profile, Lone Wolf pulled to the outside, and these 5 have gone on from First Approach, and Come to Me has dropped away. At the second last, a big jump. Battleoverdoyen emerged with the lead as they race up the hill of the final flight. It's Battleoverdoyen going on from Magnum, Get a Reason, Sam's Profile and Lone Wolf, and at the final flight in the Lawlors of Naas Novice, and it's Battleoverdoyen and Jack Kennedy in the lead from Magnum, and now trying to stay on again is Sam's Profile with Get a Reason in between horses, but Battleoverdoyen will maintain his perfect record in the Lawlors of Naas Novice Hurdle. Second is Sam's Profile, 3rd Get a Reason, then Magnum, Lone Wolf, First Approach, and tailed off Come to Me.
Yes, indeed. Race to forget for Willie Mullins there with Tornado Flower running an absolute shocker, being pulled up at an early stage. Come to Me, who was so well backed, trailing home. And at the end of it all, Battleoverdoyen is our winner here. He's retained his unbeaten record for Jigginstown, Jack Kennedy and Gordon Elliott. And another thoroughly likeable performance from this horse, Don. Albeit his task greatly eased by a couple of his main rivals running well below par. 11-2 for the Ballymore Novice Hurdle now with Betfair on the back of that.
Yeah, it was very impressive, Gary. Like he did everything. I suppose his only real blemish was at the final flight when he got in a wee bit tight. But you know, as you said earlier on, in the paddock he's a big imposing sort. You can see him going down to the last there, big galloping stride. He went on. He got into a wee bit of scrimmaging with Sam's Profile at the top of the home straight. Jack Kennedy just keeping his position and riding his race. But he had all the ability and all the scope, and he's just powered clear.
We can take it right back to the start. Ruby Walsh jumped off at the back on Tornado Flyer. No great surprise there that he was going to take his time on the horse, but I think from a relatively early stage you would have been feeling pretty uneasy if you'd supported this horse. Battleoverdoyen in the end, as you can see, actually went off clear favourite at 2-1. The runner-up Sam's Profile has run a huge race at 16s from Mouse Morris, and Get a Reason best of the Mullins trio in third at 12-1. Sam's Profile is a horse we'll pay close attention to on the way round as well, Don, because he made a couple of mistakes that didn't do him any favours whatsoever. He left his hind legs in that hurdle there, and he did it even to, if you like, more significance at a later stage of the race. He's run a terrific race in the circumstances.
Yeah, no, he completely lost his position when I think it was maybe the fourth or fifth last week. He committed a similar error to the one he just put in there. He's run a big race, and he was just a wee bit short of room at the top of the home straight when Brian Cooper wanted to go forward, and he's again another big galloping horse in the same colours as Van Almar, Mouse Morris, who won this race I think 2008, and he's run a massive race. He's another horse who's probably going to